In a bid to revive the real estate sector, the government will soon announce an economic stimulus package for the demand-hit housing sector. The realty sector demand had slackened due to higher costs of houses and a steep rise in interest rates that resulted in higher EMIs. Bankers have been pleading with the government for a realty bailout package. The package is expected to focus on the following. The package would induce cheaper home loans, full waiver of processing charges and concessions on margin money requirement. Measures including reduction in interest rates and exemption from home loan processing fees for up to 20 lakh rupees. Banks may also bring down margin requirement and offer concession on prepayment. It is also expected that RBI may relax norms related to risk weights and margin requirements for home loans. This would enable banks to lend more in these categories. At present, the risk weight for home loans for up to 20 lakh rupees is 50%. Bankers may also resort to a reduction in their deposit rates in order to reduce their cost of funds. Mehul Verma, NewsX, Delhi. The realty sector, hit by the global economic meltdown and falling demand for housing, has been given a boost as the public sector banks slashed home loan rates. This cut is applicable for a limited period up to 30th of June 2009, with capped interest rates at 8.5% for loans up to 5 lakh rupees to encourage low-income housing. Whereas for middle-income loans of 5 to 20 lakh rupees, the interest rate has been capped at 9.25%. The banks will also not charge any processing fee or prepayment charges for loans up to 20 lakh rupees. In addition to the lower interest rates, the stimulus package also includes free life insurance cover for the borrowers. But experts consider this to be a half-hearted measure taken by the government, but hoped that private sector banks would follow suit.
If you are buying for the first time a house, then the real interest rate should be 6% up to 30 to 40 lakh rupees, and beyond that maybe 8%. That will definitely be giving the boost to the housing sector.
To make the package attractive, public sector banks have decided to give loans at a margin of 10% for up to 5 lakh rupees and 15% for loans between 5 to 20 lakh rupees.
It's a good decision from the banks and IB in particular for the bank for small loans to go cheaper and was need of the hour.
But the realtors expect the package to be extended to existing borrowers as well, and some interest concession to be given to loans above 20 lakh rupees.
I don't think this package is enough for the industry, and this package can give any kind of the support to the industry. The government need to come out with the open heart and to actually offer the package to the customer.
They'll have to come down heavily. They should pump down the more money into the market. Only then real estate will come over. Otherwise, further this will going to have another crash.
With the drop in interest rates, not only the housing sector but the small and medium enterprise sectors can hope for a rise in demand to improve the situation for the time being. The realty sector stimulus package has only been able to partially meet the consumers' expectations of creating a demand for affordable housing, while the new set of consumers of public sector banks for home loans still have a reason to cheer. The developers hope for more measures to flow from the government to ease the prevailing stress in the realty sector. Mehul Verma, NewsX, Delhi. Small and medium enterprises were seen to be contributing significantly to the Indian growth story. Now the story seems to be coming to an abrupt end. This sector has also begun to feel the heat of global meltdown. Recently, FICCI released data on the Business Confidence Index. Its figures on this sector are startling. In the last quarter, the interest costs have appreciated from 3.5% to 5.5% for small-scale and medium enterprises, while the larger enterprises have seen an interest cost escalation of about 2.5 to 3.5%. Experts believe that investors' confidence is definitely shaken in the current scenario, which is reflected in the slowdown in the manufacturing growth. But many feel that the situation is not as bad as it is being made out to be.
Banks are feeling the heat. Cement or steel, I'm sure they have added capacity recently, and in this kind of a situation they will be very hard put to recover their cost, maintain their operations at a higher level, so they are under pressure.
The industry experts believe that high inflation has already delayed the investment plans for the small-scale industries, which can be taken care of if sound strategy is made to bring back money to this sector.
That's the vulnerable sector, and my suggestion for that has been that let's create a fund for the small and medium enterprises across the bank, which would help them tide over this crisis before it hits them.
While the liquidity pipeline remains choked, the government's remedial measures are expected to provide concessional finance to medium and small-scale sectors reeling under the pressure. The continuing downtrend in the economic system is hitting hard on the pace of investments and an overall economic growth of the medium and small-scale enterprises. But the possibility of flexibility in the business model can emerge out as a possible solution to meet the current liquidity crunch. With Shweta Bajaj, Mehul Verma, NewsX, New Delhi. Admitting that the past few years were stressful for Indian economy, the government on Tuesday presented the mid-term review report before the parliament. The report paints a bleak picture for the second half of 2008-9, predicting a GDP growth for the period at around 7%. But on an upbeat note, it says the inflation figure would come down significantly.
I expect inflation to continue declining, and certainly, as I think I've been saying since at least October, I expect it to be down to normal levels by March.
Talking about the job scenario in the present situation, the government said the current global recession will not have much impact on the country. On the contrary, it said there are several sectors who are on a hiring spree. It, however, said a decline in exports remains a cause of concern.
The impact of the global financial crisis, particularly on the job loss, on the issue of the job, is minimal. You will find here one of the factors is we have got a big farming sector which has not been affected. We have got the services sector which is not affected much, and we have the manufactured sector which has been affected to some extent, and basically it is in the export sectors.
Although there remains an element of uncertainty, it is expected that the government will come out with more measures to check growth. Dropping inflation and rising saving rates are giving the economy a reason to cheer after the gloom of global financial meltdown. However, in an effort to infuse more liquidity into the system, the government has hinted towards a second stimulus package in the offing. Mehul Verma, NewsX, Delhi. In an effort to help the export and small-scale industry recover from global financial meltdown, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs on Friday approved 350 crore rupees for increasing the insurance cover for small and medium exporters. The insurance cover has been extended from the present 85% to 95%. Besides, 10% extension has been made in risk cover for non-MSME exporters.
We're amending the National Export Insurance Account and making an additional allocation of 350 crore to the Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, ECGC.
The CCA has also decided to give the urban poor a 5% interest subsidy for home loans up to 1 lakh rupees, taken during the 11th plan period.
Now, Government of India will pick up a subsidy of 5% per annum for housing loans up to rupees 1 lakh. The loan will be repaid over a period of 15 to 20 years, which means the beneficiary has to only pick up an interest tab of 3.5%.
An integrated energy policy has also been approved. This aims at optimal exploitation of domestic energy resources. Also, Suzlon Energy's plan to raise 1800 crore rupees via the rights issue has also got the CCEA nod.
The surplus funds, as defined, will be invested only through public sector mutual funds, This is a profitable way of utilizing surplus funds, and therefore the CCA agreed to extend it further.
The government has also allowed public sector undertakings to invest surplus funds in select mutual funds. In order to tide over the meltdown, this year the cabinet considered 518 items and the CCEA 254 items, which is the highest in any calendar year. The government has not only given clearances to availability of funds in the export and infrastructure sector, but has also expressed a keen interest in tapping foreign investment. And this is likely to improve the business confidence index, clearly a need of the hour. Mehul Verma, News X, Delhi.